What's up, coaches? Welcome back on Sport Vitamins.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
What's up?
It's an honor to have you on today. All of you have been already my guests on the show. And today it's a pretty special episode because I want to talk about the new association, the Euroleague Strength and Conditioning Coaches Association. And all of you are founders of this new association. So why don't we start with a little background on the ESCCA?
Who's going to start?
Okay. The president, of course.
There's no president yet. There's been no elections. It's a coup.
There is no president. There is a dictator.
Yes, exactly. Democracies don't work. I'm joking. We live in dangerous times, and these words are dangerous. But well, it all started, and it's interesting because it started with this dinner that we all had in Tel Aviv 2 years ago. Roberto, you were in, and Reggie was there, and we went to this nice restaurant. We had some good wine, and if you remember, we were talking about the necessity of stop talking, right before the warm-ups for 5 minutes, and maybe it's a good idea to just do something that we've already been discussing for quite some time, and just get started on an association. And the first thing that we agreed upon is we said right at that dinner, let's do a big conference in the summer. And leaving that meeting, the next day, I think, if you remember, guys, we started talking about our conference, which was supposed to happen last summer, but because of COVID, it got deflected for this summer. And the whole point was to meet and get founded also. So the first seeds were sown at that meeting, and then this year, after the Corona crisis, let's say, and this Corona year, we did it all remotely, and we're almost formed. We still need some paperwork to be finished, but all of us agreed, all the 18 strength and conditioning coaches of Euroleague teams plus their assistants, to start this association and just try to have an impact on the world. So for my part, this is how I see it, and how how things evolved all this time.
I would like to add that it's amazing to see that, speaking to all strength and conditioning coaches in Euroleague, and you as well, and Luka, who is now in Eurocup also, that these talks with the coaches right before games is never enough. So I think it was burning in all of us, inside of us, to build something better and bigger than that, and to exchange thoughts and ideas, and to have someone who can listen, and to have someone else's opinion. And for me, I know when I speak to coaches before games, it is never enough for me. I always want to hear more. I want to know how other systems work. I want to gather all the data that I can, and of course, I want to build some prestige to this hard work that we're doing on the teams. And for me, it was a matter of time until someone picks it up and starts doing things. I mean, we all have our ideas, but we hardly have chance in our careers to really push it forward. And I don't know what happened in the last year, but it really got together in a very good way with some good people and good ideas. And I think now is starting to happen, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I would add that we all have some kind of individual projects that we are working on. I mean, Robbie, you have your own podcasts, and it's amazing one. I really like it, and I think a lot of guys in Europe appreciate it. I have my own interviews. Reggie is a part of Nuggets, and he has some other contributions. Kostas is working great job with his website. But when it comes to making an official association of strength coaches in Europe, doesn't matter what kind of association it is. Now we are talking about Euroleague, which could be potentially one of the strongest in the future, just because it has the Euroleague title behind it as the most elite competition that will most probably be organized in the following 10-15 years here in Europe. And I think because of the names behind this association, it could be one of the strongest. And I love and I appreciate all of the individual projects that we are working on. And there are some other guys, and I don't want to start mentioning the guys with their own interviews and projects in Europe. because maybe I would leave someone out and it would not be fair. But I've seen a lot of associations. I've been part of Italian association 2 times in 2016, 2020 in different projects, and I know the guys who are working there. I had a privilege to be in Spain for 4 years, and I was part of their association over there. And when there is an association behind something, it can really make a great impact on the market. And we are aiming to have an impact on European market, which is pretty big with a great potential. And as the guy said, we have support of all EuroLeague coaches and the assistants, and this is the most important thing at the moment, to slowly but surely, make this impact on the European soil.
Yeah, that's very important. And as you just said, you want to have an impact on Europe. And I think you guys are committed to be at the forefront of basketball performance training education, right? So what are the main areas of improvement, in your opinion, guys?
Improvement, you mean
as far as basketball education?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that this can go. And if you talk in general about the what are the requirements, what are the needs, there is a wide spectrum of things that we can talk about. Let's say we do need to have some kind of standardization of knowledge in all levels. There are new coaches coming in the business, and compared to 20 years ago, they're much better educated. We got our PhDs on the programs, we got master's degrees and all that, but we need to kind of create our standardized way of doing things. Let's say regarding data collection or knowledge or basic practices that needs to be kind of uniform and identify our let's say thinking and our collective knowledge. We have to have more regular and structured educational events. Either I don't consider webinars. Actually, let me rephrase that. Not only webinars and summits, but also some more structured courses that coaches must put time and effort to create. And this is a very important point because Luka just mentioned individual projects, and we all do have our teams. So it's 80% our teams and 20%, maybe less, all the other stuff. But we do need to have time to find time for our association, and we need to find time for the common good. And this is something that no one is going to make money out. No one is going to, have any direct personal gain. It's about putting time and creating those things. We need to create mentorships. We need to create this culture of mentorships in the teams. We need to be mentors to others that are coming and want to learn from us. And we need to open up that world of communication. And at the end, create a system where it's going to be the best in the world. And I know people are smiling and laughing, but why should we? Why not? We're not lacking in anything. We're just not organized. And the NSCA was formed 40, 30 years ago. We don't have anything like that in Europe. Now we have, let's say, our association. It's not enough. So we need to put our heads together. We need to align our forces to create something that is much bigger than all of us. That's my take on this.
Yeah, I think it's a long way to go. I think we have great ideas in mind. It's nothing new. We are just, looking at what is happening on the market, what the other associations are doing, and we're just gonna try to provide, something similar to what other associations are doing. Italy is far ahead of us with the certificate course. I mean, it has been running for many years now. In Spain, they have unbelievable program with the website where you can log in and watch different things, old webinars, new webinars coming up. So these are all ideas that we want to have in our association one day. Of course, we're going to start easy. We can have experience by being part of the webinars, but to organize it, it takes a lot of time. It takes experience. We also have to be patient. Not only people who want the content from us, but we need to be patient through this delivery process. So that's why we want to start simple with webinars. it is true that we wanted to make a little bit greater breakthrough last summer with the summit as the first event, but unfortunately we had to cancel it. Now we want to do the webinar, and then hopefully we're going to do the summit this summer. And then in the future, as Kostas said, definitely we have in our head the idea of official courses, licenses. Then we also have to have the support from the institutions, especially Euroleague in this case. And then we see if we're gonna one day be able to organize that all of the coaches who will work under the umbrella of Euroleague, which is at this moment Euroleague and Eurocup. Then we have to see what's going to be with the Champions League, and FIBA competitions. It's tough to see, because we have to, see how the things will go at this level of Euroleague and Eurocup, and then hopefully we will make some other changes. But I think the most important thing is that we have enough patience along the way, and I think good things will appear.
I think I want to add something is really important in the association. It will make the coaches not only be focused on the teamwork and on the team level, but it will make them understand that they have to do something extra as a strength and conditioning coach, as a colleague, as part of the association. Everybody needs to take part and need to deal with the effort of the association and really help doing whatever we need for the association. And if it's clinics, and if it's talking to other associations, and if it's to do stuff on social media, or talking to EuroLeague players, or talking to EuroLeague. So it will make everyone much more involved. Everyone will feel much bigger part because he has something to do in the organization. And the association, is not only 3 or 4 guys running it and all the guys are listeners. It's supposed to be, all 18 teams doing stuff together. Everyone has a small part. Everyone needs to do something for the association. And I think this will what make it so successful and different.
And guys, how important is for you to share knowledge with all the coaches that are not involved in high-level basketball, for example?
Well, this is the core of the matter, and I just want to back up just for a minute and say that education is a huge part of what we want to do, but also affecting the actual the way things are done in the EuroLeague and in our teams. It's also one of the main goals of this association, and there's a lot of things to be done in that direction. So I don't want not to mention that our relationship and our involvement with the actual organization and what's happening day to day in the teams is very important. Now, reaching out to the coaches that are not in this, let's say right now they're not in this level of competition, not of this level of coaching, but the competition. For sure, we need to reach out, and if we create content and knowledge that addresses only specific problems that we face, then we're going to be obsolete. It's going to be an elitist, isolated association that doesn't concern other people. So I think after establishing ourselves and setting up some main things in terms of organizing and affecting other organizations like the EuroLeague, then the next thing is to create such content that is interesting to everybody, and that's key. Because if we need to take that experience from the top and just adjust it to all the levels. That's one of the main things.
Yeah, and I'm a strong believer that sharing is caring. So it's very, very important.
For sure, we need to open up. And for many years, and I know a lot of coaches were kind of like protective of their so-called knowledge. And, if knowledge has no value if it's not shared. And each one of us have their own characteristics and their own beliefs and their own knowledge and their own experiences. So each one is unique. So you have nothing to fear. We have only to gain. And I was always open. People were open to me when I was starting out, and even now. So we have an obligation to be open. We have an obligation to take time out of our teams and care about what's happening in the rest of the world. We do have an obligation to mentor others. It's not that we're doing anybody a favor. This is how I see it. So that's why I tell coaches, let's get involved. Let's do something that is beyond us.
Yeah, I also think in our job in in such high demanding environments, it's really important for us to share the knowledge, because we have so much to gain of these talks with other coaches. You know, something small as speaking to even, I don't know, speaking to Kostas about which hotel to stay when we go to play Khimki, or you know, what's the best way to do some things when we are not in Israel or traveling, because some of the guys, you know, work in different places, different experiences, and it's really fun to have like an address for simple questions that before that we didn't have anyone to ask, because you know the connection between Euroleague coaches was not that amazing as it is now. And when you can consult and ask and share your knowledge and everything with other coaches, I think we are lucky. I mean, we have such good coaches and such good colleagues. And I really feel that it's not, you know, I don't feel any competitiveness in this association.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And it's just kind of surprising that everybody's just, that's what I feel too. Everybody's cool and willing to share. Of course, we all have our teams and our jobs and what the things that we do. So, but there's no this cutthroat or antagonistic environment. To the contrary. So I agree with you 100%.
There is always the greatest debate where to sleep when Khimki is playing EuroLeague.
There's not many choices up there, so better be close, because Moscow, you know how it is with the traffic.
Tough. To answer the question, I really like it, and the question, because as Kostas said, it's some kind of like obligation and responsibility to share knowledge, and I guess it's also connected to the way how we grew up as coaches and how we built the first couple of years of our careers. I mean, I say that smart people, smart young guys who want to be successful one day are smart if they surround themselves with good mentors, good coaches, people from whom they can learn. That's one of the best things that you can do as a young coach, you know, try to get as many resources as possible. And that's what I did. I mean, I was lucky enough that at my school of kinesiology in Zagreb, the strongest by far sport university school in Croatia, I had the privilege to be surrounded with one of the most influential guys in the field of strength and conditioning. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, after I graduated, even like during the studies, but after I graduated, I stayed in touch with these people. I started to work for them. And it was not only one guy, it was more people at once. And everyone gave me a piece of their knowledge, a piece of their experience. And after being with these people, after living in Spain, and then where I did the PhD studies, and I had another mentor more towards the scientific part, I always have this responsibility that I have to give something in return. And this is where it comes to sharing, you know, whatever the content is, books, interviews, webinars, seminars, I mean, you name it. But for me, I think it's just the way how we, you know, how we are raised. I mean, the values that you build in your own family will eventually come up when you are like as a social being in the surrounding of a team. You know, if your parents were caring about you and they taught you how to care about other people, normally you will also care about your players, about your stuff. And then if you were raised like that also as a young coach, most probably that you will not feel as some kind of like you know, competency or like a situation where you want to compete with the others, but you want to just contribute, give what you have, and trust yourself that you will be at your spot where you have, wherever you want to be one day. You know, is it EuroLeague strength coach or assistant in EuroCup, whatever you want to be. You know, you're not going to be afraid that you're not going to get the job. You know, and look who is behind you or who is next to you or who is in front of you. You know, you're just going to give to people what you can, and then eventually you will deserve what you really deserve.
Great. Guys, I would like to go back to something that Kostas mentioned before. He mentioned the NSCA in the United States. They also have the NBSCA. And I want to know, how big is the gap right now between the US and Europe?
Well, the US is way ahead because they've been doing it for decades. And the coaches are used to being in associations. The associations have established themselves, and they created requirements for coaches to work. So, for example, in the States, you cannot work unless you're NSCA, CSCS or NSCA certified, and or some other similar type of certification. I don't want to mention specific ones. And they managed to have an impact in the world and really frame the profession in a good way. I know there's controversy with the NSCA with a lot of organizations, and but this goes with the job. And also the Association of the NBA Strength Coaches, they've been around, and we were in contact with them, and they kind of helped us form our idea how we're going to establish our association. But right now they're established, they're doing things, and we're just starting. But like I said, we need to catch up, and we need to be better if we can, but we need to catch up, especially with the Association of the NBA guys, because the NSCA is just a broader organization. It encompasses all strength and conditioning, wants to encompass all strength and conditioning, but they have different mission and a different structure and different goals. But yeah, we do want that contact, and like I said, we're already in contact with the NBA guys, and we also reached out, and other people reached out to us from the rest of the world. So that's another good thing, that if you have an organization that is a focus point, then everybody can relate to that, and we immediately talk with 3-4 other organizations. Immediately we connected with hundreds of coaches. So that's the good thing. We need to make the world smaller.
Great. And also, I know that you're gonna already have a member of the NBA on your lineup in the upcoming event, right?
Yeah, we have Adam Petway of the Wizards. Actually, this is something that Reggie arranged, and we're very happy to have him on board. And now I'm going to share you. I'm not going to say names, but there was another NBA strength coach that I knew from the past, and he contacted me and said, "Hey, tell me more about the webinar." And I explained to him what the goal is and what we're doing, and he said, "I'd love to be on the next one." So people are, I think the U.S. wants to reach out to Europe because we're kind of like unknown for them, what we're doing and how we're doing things, and they do also want to learn how things are going in this part of the world. And we discussed it also with the rest of the guys that we want to have in a summit 1 or 2 NBA coaches, strength and conditioning coaches, to come and share their knowledge and see what we're doing, and just start this conversation. And why not in the future organize something together somewhere, in a live event of a joint effort. So there's an idea.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So on the 6th of March, you guys gonna have the first online event. You want to tell us something about it, guys?
Reg, Luka, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll say. I think we got really good speakers. I think we got really relevant topics. Okay, we were thinking if to make it 1 long day, 2 days. Keep people in attention before the next clinic in the summer. I think we have option for much more speakers than we do now, but we didn't want to overdo it because we want to have something big in the summer as well. And this will be like only the first event. So I think we got really good speakers, high level, experienced guys. We got Marcus from Munich. We got Adam Petway, as you said. We got a few other guys. I know we also have some outside speakers that we will keep for the summer as well. I'm really excited about it. It's the first one. For sure, it's going to be a very special one. I'm really trying to stay in the level of everybody else because we got some high level guys over there. So I think everybody will enjoy, and it's just the beginning. We have so many options, and we could take it really to so many directions. But we decided we want to keep it humble the first time. Okay, we want to be humble on the first one. We don't want to waste all of our good weapons, and we have so many of them. Of course, all 18 coaches of EuroLeague can be part, but we had to divide it somehow, and we have some really good speakers that come from NBA or from other EuroLeague teams or from other areas in this job, such as physios or doctors or really other people that don't deal with the same stuff that we deal, and it's really good to hear. We have really good sponsors that Kostas can elaborate on, because Kostas is the Jewish side of the equation here. Okay, Kostas takes care of business.
Definitely some connection there. I have to check that.
So I'm really excited about it. I'm sure it's going to be a great one, and I'm sure that every clinic or every webinar is going to be much more amazing than the first one, because I think one of the biggest advantage in our association is, we are the new generation of coaches in EuroLeague. What we do is what will happen. We had nothing before us. Now what we are building is the culture, and it's in our hands. We are hard workers, and I believe it will be amazing, but it will take time, and we need to be patient. People around us need to be patient. And I'm sure that with time, we can build something unbelievable. I'm really certain of it.
Yeah, actually, you guys are going to have an amazing lineup. So I don't think you're going to start humble. Actually, you're going to start hitting the ground running already.
Well, this is like Regev said, this is the first one that we do, and it's I don't want to say a test run because it's going to be well organized, but it's a challenge to do it online. I've organized quite a few events in the past, but they were all live, and I don't think that you can beat live. Webinars are great; they're easy to they provide easy access. But what I'm really excited about is the summer event, which is going to take place on the 9th, 10th, and 11th of July in Athens. It's going to be a hybrid event, which means that it's going to be organized no matter what, either only online or both. I'm optimistic that we're going to have people there. I believe that Greece, being a tourist country, will allow, like last year, people in. And that's going to be the event that we are shooting for. We want all coaches to be there. So all our attendees, all the coaches that'll come to listen to us, will be able to actually meet us. And we talk to each and every coach. We talk with the guys of the EuroLeague. Make an effort to be there just even for one day. We got to show up. We owe it to everybody else. We got to show up. We cannot have an EuroLeague Strength and Conditioning Coaches Association with us not being there and being only 5, because we're all busy. I understand that. National teams and all, but we got to make an effort. And like Regev said, we got some great sponsors signed up, and there's going to be a big exhibition and practical sessions and theoretical sessions. So it's going to be, I'm excited about the summer. And the webinar, you've seen the lineup, it's good speakers, and just we're shooting to give some good knowledge and prepare people for the summer, just tell them who we are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the summer event. I just need to push back my wedding, but that's fine. I think Sarah will start with that.
It's not only your wedding, you're going to be a father. I don't know if you're going to have time for the webinar.
Look, you're very ambitious with all this and writing and being a daddy. So, I had twins, now they in May going to turn 3 years old. And the first 2 years, I just did the team and a few side projects. And it was all like, I consciously said, I'm going to be a full-time father. I loved it. So, riding only the plane and things like that. But, this is the best investment you can make.
So usually you guys know that I finish off my episodes asking 3 rapid-fire questions. Today we do something different. I just want to have one nugget of wisdom. Luka, you knew it was coming. Nugget of wisdom by all of you, okay, for all the young listeners out there.
Who's going to go first? Surely, Luka, you're prepared.
No, man, you go first. You go first.
Well, think about when you think about your future, think about who you need to become before you think what you need to know as a coach. Because coaching is not only about knowing your X's and O's, your techniques and your biomechanics and your science, but it's about connecting. It's about inspiring. It's about leading. And no player cares about how much you know if you can connect with them and block out. So think how you need to grow as a person along with your technical knowledge, and that's important for your future career. That's my golden nugget for the night.
Well done, Kostas. Well said. I would like to say this one. It might sound technical, but it's actually kind of spiritual. Okay, never chase money with being strength and conditioning coach, because you guys know that we're not going to be rich from it. It's our destiny. It's what we do for love, for life. This is what we are, and not too often I get to see some coaches who are doing stuff for fame or getting rich or getting famous, and it's not about that. It's a very dirty job. You got to be behind the scenes. You got to take care of your players. You got to take care of your system. You got to be the right guy for your coaches. You got to be there 24/7. And when it doesn't come from pure love for the business, with the good side of it, of the work, of being in the weight room every day, of being on the court first, leaving last, So if you do that, that's the right reason to do it, and not fame or money or I don't know, trying to please someone. It's not why we do it. Like, we do it because this is what we are.
Well said.
Nice one, both of you. Well, me in the end, okay. So for me, I think beside the great desire to learn, to explore, to connect different fields, I think from the earliest age, if no one will push you to improve your social skills, I think start exploring the story of ego early in your career. Try to challenge yourself to see when your ego goes out or up or high, and try to play with yourself, challenge yourself to put your ego as low as possible in many different situations, starting from how you communicate with people in arena, all the way to communication with players and coaches. Because if you have problems with controlling your ego, which you can always see, even coaches at a high level who know how to control their ego, they can catch themselves every now and then where they can see that ego showed up, maybe not so with a so high impact, but you can really see if you let yourself see when the ego shows up. And I think one of the best things that you can do for yourself, for your career, is to play this game of realizing when the ego comes out and how to control it, because it can, in the end, when you try to manage it, it means that you are keeping many things under control. And I think this is one of the most important things when it comes to building a really, really good, long-lasting relationship with anyone who is in front of you. It doesn't matter who really it is. Is it a bus driver, a colleague from opponent team, teammate, staff member, player, whoever? So this is my nugget.
That's a great one. I'm gonna try this one from tomorrow. I need to work on that one.
Hey guys,
Robbie, you gotta give us one also.
One?
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm going with what you said, Reggie. Chase opportunities, not money.
That's a good one too. That's it.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, guys. Where can our listeners find more about the association?
Well, right now we're building our website. You can find information on 3Ws.webinar.ESCCA, Euroleague Strength and Conditioning Association.net. And you can find us on all social media under ESCCA_BB basketball. So it's ESCCA_BB. You can join us in Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all that. And pretty soon, so you can actually follow the updates. And pretty soon there's going to be a website. Obviously, it's going to be announced. So for now, this is it.
All right, coaches. Thanks again for taking the time, and thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about the association.
Thanks for having
Thanks a
us,
lot,
buddy.
Robbie.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.